We are less than 2 weeks away from the EFL Championship season. We've seen clubs like Birmingham City flex their financial capabilities, tons of statement signings, and just showing that they want to make the leap this year. Then on the flip side, you've got other teams that are genuinely pushing for promotion as well, like Sheffield United, like Coventry, who've had a bit of a quieter window. Maybe they trust their squad, maybe they need a little bit less revamping. Now, if you've seen in the title, this is called 3 more transfers, meaning that there was a part 1. Part 1 we posted about a week ago where I talked about 4 transfers that you should be scared of. If you haven't seen that, go look at that first and then come back to this video. My name is Joner Fat Cat. I make EFL Championship content and footy content in general. Drop a sub to my channel, comment below if you agree or disagree with what we talk about, and leave a like. It boosts the algorithm. Thank you all so much for the support. We've been doing really good over here on YouTube. I also make a lot of shitty posts on TikTok and Twitter too, so go follow those. All my links are in my bio on my YouTube channel. And quickly, one last thing before we get into it. When I say scared, I'm talking about both sides of the spectrum. So whether you are a fan of this club and you're rooting for this player, or you're a rival fan of this club and you don't want him to perform well against your team. So we do the pros and cons. We try to keep it as biased. No, we try to keep it as small amount of bias as possible. So you may have been able to guess who the first person is based on the club. It is Mathias Kvistgaard. The 23-year-old Danish striker came over for a fee of £8 million from Brøndby in the Danish league. And this dude was an absolute menace last season. He scored 17 goals and had 5 assists in 29 appearances in the Danish league, which is absolutely crazy, earning him that coveted transfer to England, as he has always said he wants to play in the Premier League. He's starting over at Norwich City. Now, don't look at this as a step down or a small transfer for him. This guy had interest from Celtic, Rennes, West Ham, Frankfurt. This guy could have played UCL ball next season, but he chose Norwich City. Now let's talk goal catalog. Love to watch a good goal catalog, especially someone like him. He's got a lot of flair to his attack. He's very quick, agile. He can get up, he can score headers despite being 5'8". He loves to embarrass a defender with a first touch, whether it be through their legs, around them, spin around them, flick it over their head. And something that I will say, the Danish league had a lot more physicality than I expected. When I watched Yogo highlights in the SPL, I felt like the league didn't seem too physical, which raised concerns for adapting to the championship. But I think he may genuinely have a little bit of an easier time adapting based on the play style of the center backs and the wing backs that I saw in him. Absolutely torched last season in the Danish league. It's also been reported from Brøndby fans that, you know, he's a pest to center back. He's always moving. He's not scared to go up and press, you know, stick a foot in, make his presence known. So definitely something that you'd want in a striker for your team. Oh, and you know what? This actually backs it up right here. He wins almost 3 tackles a game. You don't see that much as a striker. That's 100th percentile. That's crazy. As I mentioned earlier, he is a short king. He's a little skinny. He's a bit petite, as some may say. So definitely needs to put a little bit of weight on, but he's relatively young still. He's 23 years old. Get like 5-10 pounds of meat on him. I think he'll be able to adapt to the championship at a decent pace. Not right away, but, you know, get him in the weight room. I think his physicality will even up with opposing center back pretty quickly. And, you know, he's slotting into a very good attack. It's looking like Sargent's going to stay. We know Sainz is gone. Originally, he was supposed to be the Sargent replacement, but Sargent does not want to go back to Germany, reportedly. I mean, I could see a world where these two coexist. I'm not sure if he might drop down and play as a 9, or excuse me, as a 10. He might play the 10, Sargent might play the 9, or vice versa. They've got Chernak out on the wing, who will probably take a step up this year. I think they could definitely do some damage as a front 3 right there. Bookies think that Norwich are going to finish right outside the top 6. Maybe they push up and sneak into the playoffs this year. Who knows? I also want to mention that in his goal catalog, he displayed a lot of power with both feet. He definitely has a very wide range of goal scoring abilities, including headers, because, and this is not verified, he did some sort of gymnastic based thing in Denmark growing up, where it's not exactly gymnastics, but it involves acrobatics and trampolines. If anyone knows more about that, I'd love to know down below. So that helps him, you know, be more shifty and can get up high in the air and use other defenders to get that extra inch that maybe he doesn't have in the height section to score headers. Now, flip side, he is small. He's 5'8". He does not look like he's got much meat on him. Could, an emphasis on could. Obviously not wishing this at all, but he could be prone to injuries. I think he missed something like 8 matches last season, which isn't too crazy, but, you know, he is pretty young. Probably don't want to be missing that many matches at that age. So minor knocks here and there, but nothing too crazy. Just something to keep an eye on as he adapts from the Danish league to the championship, because yes, like I said, it did look like it was a relatively physical league, but the championship is going to be a whole new beast for him. Secondly, the money. As much as Norwich have a lot of money coming in and out, maybe even more than like 3/4 of the championship clubs, they just did pretty good business. I think it was like 14-13 mil for Sainz, who was in his last year of his contract. He is a big financial investment, so, you know, if it takes him a couple years to get accustomed to the English footballing life, you're in the hole a bit there. You may be forced to sell some other assets, but there's no difference between finishing in 7th and 16th. It's high risk, high reward. You're always making signings with the intent of them having a very positive impact and leveling you up as a club. Maybe he'll be that guy. If he's not, they may be in a little bit of a hole. Good luck this the season, sir. You ask anyone, it's worth the risk. I'm not saying I wouldn't want him at my club. I would want him at my club. So cool. And we'll talk on the next person. The next guy we're going to speak out is from Australia. If you know who it is, you know ball. Nestori Irankunda. Now, bear with me here. We have a lot to unpack on this guy. Watford signing £4 million fee from Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich negotiated a 50% sell-on clause, meaning they'll get 50% of whatever profit Watford make from the $4 million. They also have some sort of a buyback clause, which shows that they weren't too keen to get rid of him, but I'll explain why I think they did it. Very interesting span of clubs he's played for. As I mentioned, he's Australian. He's from the land down under. What was that accent? That was so cringe. I'm so sorry. Started his career at Adelaide United. Okay, let's just look at these first three. Let's group them right here. The numbers are not too crazy in that 23-24 season. He managed to get 8 goals and 6 assists in 25 matches. 7.2 rating. Very commendable. Went back, watched his goal catalog. Scored a couple banging free kicks. He's got a cracker of a right foot on him. That guy has 99 power shot if he were a FIFA card, which I'm sure he doesn't because he's like a bronze in FIFA. You look at those stats, you're not too wowed. But remember one thing. And if you don't remember, I'll remind you, he is 19 years old. This guy broke into the first team at Adelaide United at 15 years of age. This is no disrespect to Australia. They don't have a crazy amount of superstars. Maybe in the past they had some banging players who made it to Premier League ball and whatnot. If you are someone who's from a smaller nation, footballing wise, and you show a lot of promise at a young age, you break into the professional league there, they're calling you a star boy. There's a lot of pressure on your back. He plays 3 seasons there. He goes and he gets bought by Bayern Munich at, 18 years of age. He may have even been 17 when the signing went through. That's pressure. Now, gets bought to Bayern, ships himself from one continent to another. He's playing with the reserves this past season, 2024-2025. Played about half the year. He actually came out and he said that he didn't want to play with the reserves anymore, which then prompted the loan to Grasshopper, which is in the Swiss Super League. And clearly, just look at the numbers. Nothing is gonna spark up to you there. Nothing's really gonna twist the meter. Is that a saying? I don't know. But I listened to a couple Australian football shows. I read some comments from Aussie fans. There was actually an Aussie Watford fan, which I thought was very funny and ironic with the signing going through. He's raw, okay? He's young. He's a bit volatile in the sense that he possesses a lot of characteristics that you can't teach, such as, just raw shot power, rapid pace. He's super quick going down that wing, but he is known to be a little bit hot-headed off of the pitch. There's been some scenarios, I think, and don't quote me on this, he sort of forced his way out of the Bayern Munich reserve team, which then prompted the loan. He's had some things go on in the past where he's like deleted social media posts and blacked out like his socials and things like that. But delete your message in the comments right now. That does not mean that this guy's career is going nowhere at all. He is a teenager, okay? He's a teenager that got shipped across the world multiple times. It's gonna take time for him to find his place, find his footing, and Bayern and now Watford hope that this can be the place to do it. It'll give him a sense of familiarity. It'll give him a sense of complacency. He knows he's gonna be here for the whole year. This is his team. The players that he is linking up with, these are going to be the players that he's going to be with the whole year. These are going to become his best friends. It's going to take him time to mature and grow. It's somewhat loosely similar to a Christian Pulisic story where you are this star boy from, in your country's terms, like everyone is saying like you're the chosen one. I mean, they were calling him the LeBron James of soccer right here. If you see my TikTok, I'm not the fondest of him right now, but I'll get over it for the World Cup next season. This guy goes to Dortmund at 16 years old, breaks into the first team, very consistent minutes, very respectable stats. Then he gets a move to Chelsea. He grabs a UCL with them, and then things started off okay, but then they slowly started to taper off. And I know that he started to lose a lot of the rapport with the fans. Eventually, he's kind of forced to make a move. And look at him now. Milan, absolutely loved over there. Double-digit goals and assists 2 seasons in a row. He's gonna hit those numbers again this season, knock on wood, barring injury. Does this count? No, I'm superstitious. Let me go do it. So yeah, I would just recommend giving this guy a chance if you're a Watford fan. If you're an opposing fan, it's great to hear, he may not be level-headed, but if he's got a good manager that takes him under his wing and says, this is your club for the year, we're going to support you, let's work together, let's get a real good bond on and off the pitch, we believe in you, probably has some low confidence right now. And if this guy can regain it, that is a scary thing because he was recruited by Bayern Munich. He is a highly touted prospect. If he can work on his technical ability and just tie everything together, maybe it won't be this year, maybe it'll be in year 2, year 3. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's no question Watford have not been trending in the right direction. So Can he help them push up the table this season? I think so. I think it won't happen right away, but I think by the end of the season, this guy will be a household name in the championship. Except when he plays my club. All right, on to the last person. I'm yapping today, and I'm risking my aura here, fellas. Marvin Dusch, German Werder Bremen striker. Heavily rumored to be on his way to Birmingham City. Not officially confirmed. I'm recording this on Friday evening. Maybe it breaks by the time this goes out. It'll probably be confirmed early next week, if it's my guess. They've done it again, lads. Definitely cannot say I expected them to bring in another striker. This is the greed they speak of in the Bible. They have found an absolute gem in this fella right here. Werder Bremen, 4 seasons, 134 games, 54 goals. That's not the thing that I want to highlight. It's his assists. This guy can pass a rock. 9 assists, 6 assists, 9 assists, 10 assists. Probably see that 20 goals. This was Bundesliga too, but still, scoring or assisting every single game, give or take. I'm sure there were more on some days. Absolutely insane. That was only 4 seasons ago. German international. This dude is the real deal. Watch his goal catalog. Yes, he's 31 years old, but he's not one of those guys. He's like a Harry Kane. He's not like a, he's not outpacing you. He's quick. He's witty. His positioning is good. He's tall. He can score headers. 6'2". Very lanky looking lad. Now, this is a crazy thing that I want to show you. Look at the expected assists in the Bundesliga this past campaign. You've got Olise, Kimmich, Wirtz, Amiri, and then you've got Duke down at 9.1 expected assists. Apologies if I murdered his name. I know you guys love to get on me for that. He got 8 assists. He actually underperformed his expected assists. And then if you sort by strikers in top 5 leagues, this guy is literally in the same category as Vinny Jr., Julian Alvarez, like some crazy strikers who like cost 200-300 million pounds. There's rumors of Vinny going to Saudi for like 250 million pounds. So they slot this guy into their team. It's going to be scary. I don't know what they're going to line up like, but what I've seen is he's very good with like hold up play. Obviously, he has so many assists, so he can hold the ball, use his strength, let the attackers get down the wings, get down the pitch, tap one over, and he's also got a bit of a crack on him. I've seen some pretty good goals. I've seen a lot of headers as well, so it's a good contrast to Kyogo, who's a bit smaller, and I don't think he's going to give you many headed goals, if any. Fee is around 6 million pounds, so it's a bit higher than his market value, but you take that with a grain of salt. So reasons why this could blow up in their face, only thing I can really think about is the fact that he's just old. I mean, Birmingham City have shown that they are, 1, pushing for promotion this year, and 2, not afraid to splash the cash, especially on an older player. They spent 10 million on Kyogo. He hasn't missed too many games to injury. He's had a very clean injury record in his career, so you probably don't have to worry about that too much. But you figure things don't go right for Birmingham City, they miss out on the playoffs, they don't hit the ground running, and things start to go bad, and they're pointing fingers at each other, and they don't get promoted. This does not look like a good signing, and his value is going to absolutely tank. I'm sure they could sell him back to the Bundesliga, considering there's so many clubs over there that would love to take a striker like him who's established in the league, but they won't get 6 million for it. But I mean, man, the way it's looking with Birmingham City, the way that they're generating money from, their sponsors and whatever they're doing, if they lose a couple million pounds on someone that they took a risk for who could potentially be a big factor in getting them promoted to the Premier League, do they really care? I don't think so. So if you made it to the end, you're an absolute legend. If you're not subscribed and you made it this far, you may as well subscribe. Do me a favor too, drop a like on the video. The support has been so awesome and really appreciated. Like I said, I always love to debate with the fellas down in the comments. I'm also very active on TikTok and Twitter. Do a lot of shit posting on there. This is really where I try to take the footballing side of things serious, non-biased, have debates with people, and just throw my knowledge of the game. We'll be back again later this weekend. Thank you and peace.